Afternoon, everyone. So welcome back to RAFX weekly um, weekend review. So in today's video, we are going to review or check the Forex market. So the same as what we did earlier with the commodities, with gold, silver, uranium, and oil, we are going to scan each of this market, each of these Forex pairs, and see if we can find a trading opportunity based on their technical uh, uh, indicator using my three indicators that I have tested based on no nonsense forex way. Okay, so I have here the trend follower. This is actually the baseline that I use to determine if we are still on downtrend or uptrend, and then I have here a confirmation for uh, that will let me know, or that will tell me that it is a buy or sell, and confirmation 2 is another one that is an indicator that tells us to confirm if we need to buy and sell. So using this indicator as well will help us exit in my trades. So basically how I trade is, first I check on the daily chart, because the daily chart is my trend bias. So I'll look here if the pair is an uptrend. Of course we are going to look for long trades, and if the pair is in a downtrend, I am going to look for a short trade. So how I am going to do it is, once I have the bias, let's say in here, for example, AUD CAD pair, based on this chart, AUD CAD is still on an uptrend because the price is above 200 baseline, and although it has broken down, it has broke down of the 50 baseline here, we are still in an uptrend because it's still on the long-term 200 baseline. So once I have that bias, I usually look into the 1 hour time frame for a entry signal. So what I'm looking for in the entry signal is, first, does the trend follower give me a long signal? So in this case I don't have it, because based on this chart, the trend follower indicator is in a downtrend because the price is below this 2 baseline here, and we also have the sell indicator as well. Okay, so meaning for AUD CAD, I don't see any buying long opportunity yet. So once I have, for example, a long opportunity, what I do is I go back to 4 hour time frame and find my stop loss here. So usually I put my stop below the buy or long, or below this long indicator if I found one. Okay, and then I also use the 4 hour time frame to exit. So when I do exit, when I see a sell signal, so the sell signal is the same. If the price goes below the 50 baseline and I see a sell trend follower sell indicator, and the confirmation tells me to sell, and the confirmation 2 is heading down to the sell zone, that tells me that I need to get out of the trade. So So that's basically how I trade. So okay, let's move on to the next. So using that pattern, or using those what you call that, filters to get into the trade, we will scan each of the pair. So for AUD CHF, it is a long trend, an uptrend, so meaning we are about to look for a long trade. Let's see if we will have one. So in the 1 hour time frame, we have that long signal there, and it doesn't mean that we need to get in immediately, because we need to consult the confirmation. Confirmation is tells us that okay, we need to, it is also a buy, and confirmation 2 is not yet, because the market sentiment or this indicator is still in the sell zone. So once we have this above here, and this is now okay, and this will continue, and most probably the price will go up above the 50 baseline, then we are going to go long. But for now, we are on a waiting game for AUD CHF. So again, every 4 hours, because I am trading the 4-hour time frame, I scan each of this if there was or there is a long or short opportunity for us today. So next is AUD JPY. So AUD JPY is, I think, one of my trades this week. If you notice, the price, or in the daily time frame, it is in an uptrend, because again the price is above this 2 baseline here. So what we are going to do is check for an entry signal, trigger in the 1 hour time frame. So in here, I think I found here the indicator that the buy signal is on, and then I waited until it is confirmed by the confirmation 2 here. So basically, as of the moment, I am in this trade and waiting for my stop or exit signals to show in the 4-hour time frame. So as of the moment, I'm still holding my trade, because based on my 4-hour time frame, the exit signal is not yet complete. So going to the next pair is the AUD NCD. So for AUD NCD, in this case, you will notice that in the daily time frame, the price, I don't like to trade this type of chart, because I can't determine the definite trend of the pair. So for this one, I usually pass if I don't see any trend or a clear trend for a pair. So until this trend becomes a clear downtrend or uptrend, then we will consider this to check for entry triggers using the lower time frame. So our next pair is CAD CHF. So for this one, CAD CHF just started the uptrend. Why? Because the price just broke out of the 200 baseline here, okay, and then currently it is continue its uptrend, but I don't like to get into this immediately, because the price shoots up in a very out of the market structure. So for the market structure in here, we are looking usually for support and resistance, or using my baseline. So in here, my usual baseline is the 50 baseline, which is the red. And if you notice, the price of CAD CHF is very far from this market structure here. So I have a comment or a note here that I need to wait price to go near 50 baseline before going long. So that's the reason why we need to wait for the price to at least come back or go near the 50 baseline, because it's the nearest, it's one of the market structure that I use I use most of my trades. Okay, so since it is far from the market structure, I am going to pass and look into the lower time frame. So next is CAD JPY. So the same, the market is, although it's in an uptrend, but the price is far from the market structure, which is the 50 baseline. Moving on. So for Swiss yen, again on the daily, so we have here a clear uptrend still, because the price is above 200 baseline, and it poked down the 50 baseline. So this one is a good waiting opportunity for long trade. So let's see if we can find any entry trigger in the lower time frame. As of the moment, we don't have any, because based on the 1 hour time frame, the chart is still in a downtrend until we see a clear buy signal for the trend follower indicator. The confirmation 1 gives us another buy confirmation, and the confirmation 2 moves up to this buy zone. Then we are going to take the trade. But for now, we don't have any sign that we need to go long for this pair. So next, Euro AUD. So clearly on the daily chart, Euro AUD is in the downtrend. So the price is not far from the market structure that I usually use, which is this two here. Then I may consider, or we will take a look on the lower time frame if we will find a entry trigger. So let's check 1 hour. Okay, so we do have a sign that we are good for long in trend follower indicator, which is this one. It is confirmed by the confirmation 2, by the confirmation by this dot here, or the buy signal here, and also the confirmation 2 is in the buy zone. So this is a clear entry trigger for me. So what I do next is I go up to the 4 hour to find my stop loss. So if you notice in here, I don't have the latest trend follower buy signal yet, because the latest one has been invalidated. This is the latest buy signal. So this one has been invalidated by this entry, and this buy signal here is also invalidated by this one here. So in this case, I am going to find um, a support level in this area. So how I am going to do that is I am going to use my one indicator to let me determine where is the support and resistance. Okay, so sometimes this is the problem with the um, okay, with the trading view, because SNR indicator usually or sometimes took a long time to load. So in here we have resistance level. So because the price is under these lines, these are resistance level, and this blue broken line and this blue line here is the pivot points for support and resistance. So in here, since the support and resistance indicator did not give me a clear support level, I can use here, or I can put my my support or stop loss in here. Okay, sometimes I also use the 1 hour and use that level, this one. Okay, so since SNR did not give us another good or a good stop loss level, then we have to use this one as our support. But since we don't want to put our stop loss in that exact level to give us a bit room for the price to decide, because if we are going to put on that level, there is a tendency that when the price move down here and touch that level, remember this is a support area, the tendency is it may bounce back higher. So what I usually do is I give it a room so that the price, if the price really breaks this level, then my long trade is invalidated. Okay, so since this pass on my entry trigger, and I also have this as my stop loss, then I will mark it as candidate for my trade and put it in the trade list. Okay, so maybe by Monday at 9 a.m. local time, I will go, or I will take that trade. So moving on, for the next pair is Euro CAD. So for Euro CAD, I am short. I am on this trade. I have a short trade in this one. Okay, so you see I have here my trend follower short indicator, and then the price is below 50 and 200 baseline. So that means that I did took a short trade here, put my stop loss in here, and then I think during the week I move it up here to reduce the risk. So I am still on profit in Euro CAD, and hopefully it will continue or until it gives me an exit signal. So let's see if in 4-hour time frame we do have an exit signal. So where's that confirmation? Okay, so do we have a exit signal. Since we are in a short trade, we are looking for a long signal to exit our trade. So in this case, we don't have it yet because you notice that the price is below 50 and 200 baseline. The short trend follower indicator is still on, and we don't have any buy signal here, and the confirmation 2 is also in the sell signal, meaning we are still good to hold this trade. So next is Euro CHF. Based on the daily time frame, it is still uptrend, but I don't like to proceed with my analysis because the price went up or too far from the market structure. So what I do usually is I move on to the next pair. So for this one, I think I am also long here, long on I mean short in Euro GBP. Okay, and what I do is I check if in the 4-hour time frame I will have an exit signal. So the exit signal is the reverse of my position, which is my position is short. Then I am going to look for the long signal as my exit signal. So in this case, we don't have it yet because the price is still below 50 and 200 baseline. We still have a solid sell trend follower here. We don't have a buy signal in our confirmation, and in confirmation 2, the indicator is still in the sell zone, so meaning we are still good on this trade. Next pair is Euro JPY. So in this case, Euro JPY is an uptrend, but I will not proceed with checking on the lower time frame because again the price is too far from the market structure. So let's move to the next pair. Okay, so this one is Euro NCD, and as you can see, the price or the Euro NCD is short bias because of the price below 250 baseline, and the price is not too far from the market structure, which is here. So we will consider checking the lower time frame. Let's check for entry trigger in 1 hour. For the entry trigger, we have a short bias, so meaning that's a clear sign for us that we don't have the entry trigger yet. Okay, so we are looking for the buy trend indicator. The price is at should be the above 50 baseline. Confirmation 1 gives us a long or buy signal, and confirmation 2 should be in the buy zone, but as of the moment those indicator is not showing yet. So this will be in our waiting list for every 4 hours during the trading week. If those signals will be materialized, and then we will take that trade. So next one is GBP CAD. Let's see. Okay, so this one is a good one because you see that in here the trend has been confirmed, because you see the price is moving upward with our 50 baseline, and also the price is of course above the 200. And one thing that is a good signal is the price is not far from our market structure, which is the 50 baseline. So in this case, we need to check for entry trigger in 1 hour time frame. So let's see if we will find that. So obviously at first glance we immediately notice that it doesn't have our entry trigger yet, because the trend follower indicator is still on the downtrend. Okay, although we have here a buy signal in the confirmation, but this indicator and the confirmation too is still on short bias. So again, GBP will be on the waiting list of our possible trades. So next, GBP CHF. So immediately, obviously in the daily chart, it is in the uptrend, but we are not interested in here because the price already moved far away from this structure here. So what I usually do is go on to the next pair. Same with GBP JPY. The trend is uptrend, but the price is too far from my market structure, so I'll pass checking on other indicators in here. Next is GBP AUD. Let's see if we can find one. So in here, in the daily time frame, GBP AUD is downtrend, and if you look into it, the price is into the market structure, which is the 200 baseline. So this one, I'll look into 1 hour time frame for any short trade. Let's check 1 hour. Okay, so definitely we don't have it yet because it is giving us a long signal which is against the daily time frame that we have. So in this case, we are going to pass GBP AUD and move on to the next. So for GBP NCD, the same. By looking at it at a glance, the trend is downtrend and the price is definitely on the market structure. So we are going to look for a short trade, but the 1 hour time frame doesn't agree with us because it's still on the long signal. Okay, so there is a possibility that by this week, this baseline here will be broken and the trend will there is a sign that's a sign that the trend is already changed. So how we are going to confirm that? By taking on some aside from that trade, from that trend line to be broken, we will see if we will find a new higher high in here, or we could also check if this trend line here will be broken. Okay, so I think that's a possibility by next week. Once the price goes above here, then we are going to consider this buy signal, and with the help of this confirmations in here. But as of the moment, I am not very interested in the long until I have that confirmation in by next week. So next is NCD CAD. Obviously we have the trade as uptrend, so we are going to look for long entry or long trade. Check if 1 hour will give us that entry, and obviously we don't have it yet because the trend follower is still on the sell, and we don't have, so this is a long or a buy signal here, but since this tree doesn't agree, then we have to wait for them to agree on a long entry trigger. Okay, so next is NCD CHF. So we are going to pass in here because obviously, even though we know that NCD CHF is in a long and in an uptrend, we have to wait for the price to go back down in here. Okay, so we have to pass on that. Next is the NCD JPY. Same, the price is also far from the market structure, but we need to pass checking on lower time frame if we have the entry triggers here. So for the majors, I have here the NCD USD. Let's see if we do have one. Okay, so this one is an uptrend for QE USD. Check if we have a long signal, but obviously we don't have a complete long entry signal yet. Maybe in the trading days next week we may consider taking a long trade on NCD USD. So next is Euro USD. So again, it's an uptrend, and still the price is in the middle of those three market structures, so meaning this is a good sign that I can find any entry trigger in the 1 hour time frame, but the 1 hour time frame doesn't have any long entry yet, so I will wait for it to develop by next week. So next is GBP USD. Okay, so this one is a good sign in the daily chart because it's an uptrend and the price is near the market structure, which is this one, the 50 baseline. Let's check if we do have an entry trigger in the 1 hour time frame. We don't have, because in the trend follower indicator it is telling us that it is still on the sell side. Confirmation just gave us the buy signal, but the trend follower and the confirmation 2 is still on the sell signal, so we don't have a long entry yet for GBP USD. So next, AUD USD. So the same, AUD USD is an uptrend, so we are going to check for long because the price is in the market structure. So let's see if in the 1 hour we have a entry trigger. Initially we don't have it because by looking into it, trend follower is still in the sell zone, and confirmation 2 is as well in the sell zone. Okay, next is USD CHF. So USD CHF in the daily is okay. It just broke out on the 200 baseline, so meaning this is a from downtrend, the uptrend just started, so this is a good one, it's a candidate. Then we have to look into a long trade, so meaning let's check if we do have one in 1 hour time frame. So in 1 hour, it is confirmed that the trend is also an uptrend, but okay, so here we need to wait for the price to come back here. Either we will set an alert here and use this one as our base for the entry trigger in the trend follower, and this one is the entry trigger for the confirmation. But the confirmation 2 is in, although it's in the buy zone, it's already overbought. So this should go back down here, and once it goes back down here, we will see a development that this price might go back down here as well. And once it happened, we will go or into that trade. So this one is a good one, and for sure I will monitor this next week for a possible long trade. So the last pair for Forex is USD JPY. I think they are the same with USD CHF. It just broke out on the 200 baseline for a possible uptrend, and then look into 1 hour if we do have a entry trigger. But in here, same with USD CHF, it's too far from the market structure. We do have the buy here, and the confirmation 2 is overbought. So we need to wait to have this indicator to at least move back near the 50 level, and then get into the trade. Okay, so thank you very much for your time in listening in our Forex weekend review, chart review. So hopefully you did learn how I trade using the trend follower indicator, confirmation, and confirmation 2 as based on the no nonsense FX trading way. Okay, so happy Saturday everyone, and I will create another video for the Philippine Stock Exchange, and also for cryptocurrency. So bye everyone, and happy Saturday again.